Hey everyone, I hope you're having a great day. I'm Baba Sam, the Miracle Man. So let's dive into this. What does it mean that healing starts by being right here, right now? This may make no sense to you. So let's dive into it. Well, first we need to back up a little bit to realize we need to be in this moment. When we're in this moment, we're at full power, we're at full strength. And when we're in the mind, we're not here. We're not at our full strength. So what does it mean to be here? Do you realize you're sitting right now? Do you realize you're listening? Most people aren't aware of that simple fact that they're sitting listening. They're just so wrapped up on the video quality, the words I'm saying, what's going on around them, being distracted. That's being lost in the mind. But we don't want to beat ourselves up or criticize ourselves about being lost in the mind. This is the mind's default state. The mind doesn't want you to be at full strength, full power. It wants to keep you weak and vulnerable. But we're going to change all of that right here, right now, because all of our power is right here, right now. So just look around your room. Notice your feet on the ground. Notice where your hands are. Notice what you hear around you. Notice the objects. But we don't want to get hung up on labeling the objects. Like, oh, there's a table. Because you say that's a table, you identified it, you actually left this moment briefly. You had to go into your Rolodex and say, oh, what is this object? No, we're just trying to be here in this moment. And all of our power is here. So when I was sick, I was always lost in what else is going to go wrong. My leg hurts. I can't breathe properly. My head hurts. All these mental stories. But they were taking me out of this moment. They weren't really focusing on being here. When you're fully here in this moment, there's no mental story, there's no opinions, there's no thoughts, no beliefs, just being here, sitting, listening, with no judgment, with no commentary, because mine's always commenting about this or that. So when I was very sick, I had a mindfulness practice for 5 minutes a day. So when the mind would begin thinking, pulling me out of this moment, I would say, where are my feet? Where are my hands? What do I hear? And bringing myself back into this moment. But I didn't realize what I was doing, that I was really tapping into my power, my strength. I wasn't allowing my illnesses, my diseases to distract me anymore. To realize the body does what the body does. Complaining about the body only makes that and the body stronger. So we want to let go of any kind of complaining, any kind of judging, and just realize if you want to start to heal or we need healing, then we need to be in this moment, fully in this moment. And I'm also not a very big fan of the words heal and healing. And I'll discuss this in a more in-depth video in the future. But typically when you're focused on heal and healing, you're focusing on what's wrong with the body. And we start focusing on what's wrong with the body, you're giving it energy, you're giving it strength. You're actually making that issue worse. And the way we can think of this, if you will, if you get a paper cut on your finger, it's not a big deal. You put a band-aid on it and you forget about it. And the finger heals by itself. But if you get that paper cut on your finger and you constantly stare at it, heal, 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 and really give it lots of attention, like there's something wrong with my finger, it needs to heal now. It really, really needs to heal now. There's a good chance that finger will become infected. Because you put so much energy into what is wrong with that finger, it just creates more issues with that finger. And the same thing with the body. If you focus on what's wrong all the time, you're giving it strength. So we want to learn to be here now is where our power is. And we begin by being here. We don't need to read these books. We don't need to have these credentials. We don't need to be the right age, the right education. No, you have all the skills you need to be here. You are aware. If you're aware, you're conscious. So where are your feet? Where are your hands? What do you hear? And that's simple. It's just learning to be here and not in our thoughts, not in our story, not in our beliefs, not in our opinions. Because it's distracting us, it's making us weaker. So just slow it down, take a breath, and just realize you have all these thoughts, all these beliefs, but you're not those thoughts, you're not those beliefs, you're not multiple sclerosis, you're not cancer, you're not bipolar. They're just mental concepts, they're just labels of what's going on within the body. But we allow that to define us, to realize you are the awareness. You're the one that sees through the eyes. And this may be an interesting concept for you. You're the one that sees through the eyes. What does that mean? Well, look at photographs from yourself. No, really, go look at photographs from yourself. Look at yourself from a 10-year-old, a 15-year-old, a 20-year-old, a 40-year-old, all these different ages. And ask yourself, where did you go? You went no place. Because the one who sees through the eyes has never changed. Regardless of the body, the consciousness that sees through the eyes hasn't changed. That's who you really are, is this consciousness, this awareness. But we get so hung up on our identity, our labels, it's actually taking away our power, our strength. Because once again, once you're in labels, you're in concepts, you're not fully here in this moment. So simple practice of just being here will change your world. Remember, I sat for 5 minutes a day being mindful, and my diseases went away. After 38 years of pain, of suffering, just learning to be mindful was enough for the body to heal itself, because the mind was no longer creating mental interference. When we're in all these stories and all this drama, it's mental interference. But the body can take care of itself if we get the mind out of the way. It's like the paper cut. You get a paper cut, you put a Band-Aid on it, you forget about it. But if you look at your paper cut finger and you start to dwell on it and really start to think about it, how bad the paper cut was, there's a very good chance that finger will become infected. Because that's the power of the mind, the power of our attention. What you think about, you bring about. So today we're just learning to slow it down, that if I need healing or the body needs to be healed, we don't dwell on that. We just learn to be here in this moment. Feel your feet on the ground. Notice what's around in the room, but don't label it, just notice. It's really this simple. We really overcomplicate things. And this is one of my greatest blessings, if you will, was not having someone give me rules, like a spiritual teacher. Oh, you need to sit in meditation this way. You need to hold your hands this way. You need to breathe a certain way. No, I just learned to be here. And that's why I help people just learn to be here. And that's enough to start, is just learning to be here. That we want to take these small steps, small steady steps daily, will lead to big changes. We don't need all this complexity in our life. Let's simplify things and just learn to be here. Where are your feet? Where are your hands? What do you hear? How can you make it simple? All right, that's enough for today. Take good care of yourself. Bye for now.